You can have zero money in your bank account and still get to play it.
Are gacha games the most prejudiced games in history?
I swear to God, you have to be kidding me!
Gacha games on gambling behavior and psychological health.
You know what's really upsetting is that I think they have great gameplay and combat, but I don't want to play them because they're like gacha games.
We all agree, gacha games are manipulative. They strafe wallets, rig luck, and still, millions pour hours into them. So there's the question, if they're basically built to exploit us, why do we choose to play? Well, firstly, it's not about corporate greed. We do know companies want profit, and gacha mechanics are of course ridiculously effective at making money. But money is the effect, not the full story. Because this video is about the human reason why millions of players, even us, keep coming back to these games. Not because it's fair, but because gacha actually fills gaps other games left empty. By the end, I will show you the real psychological pattern these games exploit, and why it's not just a bug of the industry, it's kind of built into us. Now let's start with why gacha exists. We know that free-to-play games dominate the modern market. They're easy to access, no upfront costs, and you can play on your toaster. But free doesn't pay the bills. So developers had to find a way to make billions off of people who might never spend a dollar. Enter the gacha system, a monetization model so efficient that entire studios pivoted to it overnight. The logic goes like this. You can't sell the games once, but you can sell a dream. Again, and again, and again. And here's the clever part. Most gacha games aren't competitive. Unlike shooters or MOBAs, they let you play at your own pace, grind your characters, and live that solo fantasy RPG life. Except it never ends, and that's the hook. A single player feeling game that never says goodbye. No credits, no thank you for playing. Remember single player RPGs? You play the campaign, you finish the narrative, and that's closure. The story ends, the world folds up, even when you loved it. Gacha games borrowed the feel of single player, beautiful worlds, characters you actually care about, story chapters, voice acting, but key difference, they never stop updating. And that matters for a lot of players, especially where consoles and new AAA games are expensive. A gacha gives you the RPG experience for free and keeps expanding it. You get content that feels handcrafted and narrative driven, but the studio keeps adding new characters, events, and story arcs that pulls you back. So it's like a single player satisfaction plus never ending updates. And games want players to return. Gacha games weaponize daily structure, login events, limited time banners, weekly events that turns play into a habit. This combination is of course scientifically sticky, and you don't just open the game to have fun, you keep the habit alive. That small ritual of checking dailies becomes a stable part of your day. Habits are deceptively powerful. Even though the end game for most of these games isn't the best, it serves as a better thing for most people.
Character customization is finally in Genshin Impact.
I want to get as many Chevrolet constellations as possible.
Please. Yes! Yeah!
Let's get real. Humans love collecting. From stamps to sneakers, collecting structures, and gacha taps that reward system. Every pull is a reward. Sometimes nothing, sometimes jackpot. That unpredictability is key. It's what makes slot machines addictive and social media scrolls endless. But there's more. There's actually three main things that I want to talk about. The first one is social identity. I main this character becomes a statement. Or status signaling, showing off a rare pull. And that equals social capital in the community. It's like something so famous in probably China, where flexing your character is actually a big thing, and that's why they have the most amount of whales there. And story ownership. You connect with characters like you would with a favorite book character or favorite anime character you're invested in. So chests or polls in these games are like small identity investments. That's why we rationalize spending. It's not just pixels, it's part of who we present ourselves as online or something like that. Like that's what people do, and that's what people feel like with those characters that are not real, by the way. Now let us talk about the second most important thing that is so overlooked.
While the rest of the games industry has seen progress, the MMO genre is at best stuck in amber.
Why MMO players are growing sick and tired of the genre.
This game is so lost, it's actually insane.
Now you might say, what are you talking about? These games are not MMOs, most of them are not at least. So what are we talking about here? You see, old school MMOs gave people massive worlds, endless grind, social bounds, and that living world vibe. But modern MMOs either paywalled, dead, or so bloated you need a Google Doc to play. So what do people do? they look for the same feeling in smaller packages. And gacha games simulate the MMO grind but without the other players stealing your loot. You get the grind, the progression, the daily login dopamine without the guy named Jack69 camping your quest objective. So gacha games recreate the MMO feel without the full commitment. They have progression, events, limited time raids, leaderboards, and co-op elements. And you get the social proof and progress loops of an MMO in bite-sized sessions. So gacha fills that hunger for an infinite world, even if it's technically just a fancy menu with energy bars and text boxes, by the way. Now let's talk about the secret weapon: routine. Gacha games are designed to fit into your day. You don't play for hours, you just log in for some minutes. You do your dailies, you burn your resin, you do your polls, and that's how they get you. Not by forcing you to play, but by rewarding you for showing up, which, by the way, is like forcing you to play. So it's called habit alchemy. Tiny hits of dopamine plus predictable structure equals psychological glue. Even if the game isn't fun that day, by the way, your brain's like, just do the dailies, bro. What if you miss a free poll? Or you can stop after this poll. You will not stop after this poll. And when you do get lucky, that high is so strong, you'll chase it for months. And that's not an accident. It's behavioral design. Gacha isn't selling items, it's selling feelings. Let's be honest, you're also collecting clout. Gacha games are widely social, even if you play alone. You flex your 5-star characters online, share your polls, complain about your luck. It's communal suffering, and it's beautiful. Every big gacha release becomes a cultural event. It's like the Super Bowl, but with anime and gambling addiction and tribalism. And streamers, they're part of the system too. You watch them spend thousands and think, wow, he's insane. And then 2 minutes later, maybe I'll try one temple, and there's it. The pipeline is complete. Which takes us to the emotional loop. If a game is predatory, why not quit? And it's because quitting costs something too. Losing progress, community, status, identity, and because the games are designed to make staying the easiest choice. Most players aren't blind. They know the systems are manipulative. They still play because the immediate emotional return, joy, belonging, progress outweighs this abstract long-term harm. And that's not weakness, by the way, that's a calculation. That's why even when you burn out, you don't delete the game. You just take a break because you know you'll just be back. These games make you care, even when you shouldn't. And that's powerful. Manipulative, sure, but also, let's say it, kind of genius. So again, why do we play gacha games? Now, they didn't invent addiction. They optimized for human psychology and modern lifestyles. They gave us a beautiful, never-ending RPG, habits to fill the time, identity to hold into, and a social playground, all packaged as free. So the real takeaway, it's not just that companies are greedy. Gacha games work because they understand us, our desire for story, progress, and connection. If you're playing, you're not dumb, by the way. You're responding to a system that's been built to make the choice to stay feel kinda natural. But you are dumb if you're not aware of that and how bad it is for you. But there is a question worth asking. What happens when every major game clones the gacha playbook? What does gaming become when permanence is replaced by endless updates and microtransactions? Now that's so worrisome, especially when we've seen it a little bit in skins in League of Legends, for example. But yes, other than the gacha system itself and the gambling addiction that people talk about, I had to emphasize that they give us something modern games forgot. A world that feels alive, a story that never ends, and a dream, no matter how fake, that keeps coming back. They mix habit, hope, and heartbreak into one infinite loop of joy and despair. It's art, dirty art. It's business. It's addiction with great music. And yeah, I'll probably log in after this video for just one more poll. Now, if you like this breakdown and this absolute cinema, hit subscribe. I've got a follow-up planned for another video talking about something like that, where gacha mechanics can be done better than this and what players can actually do. Drop a comment below if you disagree or agree with me. Follow us on Kick, join our Discord and all of that good stuff. You can also become a member on our YouTube if you want to help me make better content and build a better community. And yeah, that was the video. Bye-bye.